Hello, viewers. Once again, it's nice to meet you and be with you one more time. Now, as you can see on the board, today I need to show you how you can easily solve quadratic equations with no problems. Now, there are different ways you can actually use to solve quadratic equations. There's the first method that you're going to look at is solving by factorization. The second method of solving quadratic equations is by the quadratic formula. The third method of solving quadratic equations is using graphical approach. And the last method of solving quadratic equations is using completing the square method. Okay, so those are the four approaches you can use in solving quadratic equations. So quickly, let me pick one question. So you're going to cover solving quadratic equations using factorization technique in this session. So my first question, first example, so I'll call it example 1. We have a question, x squared plus 10x plus 16 is equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. Now, just to mention something, all quadratic equations have a general form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, they all have this general form, where a, b, and c are all constants. In our case, the coefficient of x squared, which is a, is 1. The coefficient of x, which is 10, and the c is 16. Okay? Now, let's go on. So you're using the factorization technique. Now, this is what you do. We look for two numbers. So you're going to use the sum and product method in our factorization. So our product should give us 16. So two numbers you multiply and the results are 16. And the same two numbers, you multiply them and they're going to give us positive 10. So this is the sum. This is the product. Now we don't have a coefficient of x squared, so this one is going to be so simple. But then if there's a coefficient of x squared, as I'm going to show you in the next example, then things get a little bit more involving. Okay. Now, which are these two numbers? We multiply them, they give us 16. Yet if we add those, the same two numbers, we get 10. So you see, so we can either have 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is going to give us 16. But then 4 plus 4 doesn't give us 10. Let's see, which other two numbers can give us a product of 16? You guessed it right. It's 2 times 8. So 2 times 8 will give us 16. And the same 2 plus 8 will give us 10, positive 10. So we have our two numbers. Now what we do now is we let the two numbers replace our 10. So then you're going to get x squared plus 2x plus 8x and then plus 16 is equals to 0. So the two numbers replaced are 10x. You can put them in any order, either 2x plus 8, like I've done, or 8x plus 2. It's all the same. The results are going to be the same, so no complication. Now, once you've done that, I'm going to group my values. So I group that. I group them into 2's, and I group that. And then I'm going to factorize. So looking at x squared plus 2x, what's the common factor between x squared and 2x? and the answer is x. X is the common factor. So x goes outside. I open a bracket. I'll get another x and then plus 2 within the bracket. All right, so we're done with that. Now, this is what you should notice. Now, whatever I get inside the bracket there must be the same in the second factorization of 8x plus 16. So even without doing anything, I can just put there, once I factorize my 8x plus 16, I should get x plus 2. Put it in brackets already. Now what goes outside will be positive 8. So if of course, I have to put is equals to 0. So if I opened up the bracket, I'm going to get 8x plus 16. Now this is what you're going to do now. I take 8x plus 8 in one bracket. So I have x plus 8 right there. All right, those are the multipliers. And then the same repeated, the x plus 2, the repeat one, I put it in one bracket, x plus 2 right there. And then is equals to 0. Now let's get our two solutions. I take the first bracket, which has x plus 8. So x plus 8 is equals to 0. And then take it on the other side. And then that gives us our x is supposed to be negative 8. Remember, quadratic equations will always have two solutions. So in this case, the first solution for x is negative 8. The second solution using x plus 2 is going to be, so you say x plus 2 is equals to 0. And then our x would be negative 2. There it is. So our two solutions, then you can say x is equals to negative 8, or our x is equals to negative 2. So that's how you solve quadratic equations when you have no coefficient of x squared. All right, that's how you solve. Now you could try solving this one. You could try solving this one, and then maybe the comment section, you can write something about what you got as the answer. So you try out this one. So this is your assignment. Just put it there. I'll respond and help you. So you have x squared minus 13x plus 42 is equals to 0. Now to you viewers, now can you try solving this? So thanks for watching. That's how you solve quadratic equations using factorization technique. Now, in the next video, I'll explain how you could solve quadratic equations. Now, this time around, if you have a coefficient of x squared. So meaning there's a certain value that comes before x squared. For example, 2x squared. But you don't solve it exactly the same way. So it will be slightly different, but the working is simply the same. Okay? So see you in the next video. And thank you. Bye-bye.